What is going on, you guys? I am here and I'm just gonna get straight to the point this time. So, you guys remember how I said I was gonna have the one tenant move in and then another tenant, and then he dropped out, and then another tenant moved in and then he dropped out? Well, guess what? Oh guys, I'm about to vent. So I've had this tenant, right? And you guys are gonna see the mistake. I'm being vulnerable here, right? So I had this tenant, right? He wasn't from here. He's an immigrant from another country. And I was just trying to be kind. When I was going through his process, he had a lot of apprehension. So I was trying to inform him about the process, being very patient, spending hours on the phone with him, meeting up with him at the property again, investing more time to lock in this tenant because he seemed like a good dude. And I did want to make sure I was accommodating and everything. And I was kind of like emotionally invested because I was like, oh, it's my first tenant or my second guy to be interested. Like, oh, let me lock him in, right? So this guy, let me tell you the story. So he was supposed to move in, and move in is in 2 days. He actually quit on me today, and let me tell you the story. We basically had an arrangement under the table. I basically said, all right. He said, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am on the fence about this property, and I'm looking at another property right now, but I still really like your property. And I also am property managing for another property, but since I won't be able to anymore, I'll property manage for your property as long as you agree to, let me move in and everything like that. Or not let me move in, but as long as you agree just to hold this bedroom for me. So if you just hold this bedroom, because this is the only one I want, I don't want any other bedroom for me, I will give you an answer in 2 days on if I'm going to choose another one or this one. So I was like, you know what? 2 days is reasonable. I can just tell people to stand by on that one and give them an answer in 2 days, and everything will go smoothly. So 2 days come, and then he delays a little bit, but let's say 3 or 4 days later, he basically agrees, right, that all right, we're moving forward this process. He submits his application, run his checks and everything, clean check, great credit, great income, great candidate, honestly. And then on top of that, he had also said he wanted to maybe Airbnb some of the bedrooms, and make me additional money. So he's actually going to rent these rooms out for, like, let's say $800, and then put them on Airbnb and hope to make $1,200. But he would be on the hook for all of these rooms. So I felt like, after seeing his financial situation, since he had property management experience and everything, I felt like he would be able to do that successfully. And I saw the opportunity to have more income on all of these bedrooms and something a little bit more constant with less vacancy. So I went ahead and I agreed to that. So that's another reason why I was excited about this guy, right? So we're going through the process, and I mean, this guy, every step of the way, there's something. He's like, hey, like, what's this? What's this in the lease? Like, wait, what does this mean? Like, everything about my lease. He's just tearing my lease apart, running it by, like, oh my gosh, like, what does this mean? I don't feel comfortable with this. And I'm just reassuring this guy, like, hey, this is what this means, re-explaining it to him, trying to get him calm about renting from me. Keep in mind, I have a lot of pent-up demand. So I have a lot of people who are interested, who want to rent a room, just all at once. But I'm holding it for this guy because I'm like, well, if I'm a little bit more patient, all of this will pay off because he'll rent the bedrooms out. I'll get paid a lot more, and this property will be super easy to run and manage because I'll just have it on autopilot. I'm a really trusting person. Obviously, that was a big mistake, and I learned that. But basically, we go through the process. I approve them, and once I approve them, my lease policy states, once you approve, you have 24 hours to put your deposit to hold, or the unit will continue to be advertised for rent. So, I mean, I've already done holds for this guy, made exceptions and everything. Like, now it's time for this guy to put his money where his mouth is. I mean, the application fee was like $35. So that kind of gives a little bit more seriously, but now this is time for you to, whip out the big guns, first month's rent, like pay up, So it's time for him to pay up. And this is where things got a little bit flaky. So he goes, basically he starts making a huge ordeal. Wrote me this long 2-page looking email essay saying like, hey, like, how was I approved so easily? Your standards, they must be super loose. Like, I would like to see how I was approved. I want to see my background check and everything. So I went by a couple of mentors, and they're like, well, no harm, no foul. Like, what would you have to lose from showing him like his application? So I sent it over to him, and then he like, somehow we calmed it down. He also had some concerns about how his security deposit was paid, because I don't allow Zelle or Venmo for my security deposit, because the bank that it's with doesn't accept those two payment methods. So it has to be either online on the website or check, money order, more so traceable denominations, just for both of our security. So I explained that to him. Like, the reason why it's this way is, one, because I literally can't accept the other two, and this, that, and the third. And so he goes and says, he informs me, okay, fine, like, he agrees. And then boom, now keep in mind, it's time for him to pay up. Now he's like, my driver's, I lost my wallet at work, or not at work, at the store, let's say, and my driver's license and my credit card was in there, so I can't pay right now, but once I get my cards back, I just put in a process to get my card sent to me. I will have this sent in, and I'll be ready for moving. So you guys know I'm out here managing the property, so it's not like I'm able to consistently keep showing the property. So I kind of slowed down on my marketing a lot for the bedrooms. I told him basically, all right, that's fine. I'm just trying to get this over with, trying to get this guy moved in so I can be done with it. I mean, it's eating up a lot of my time at this point. Like, I don't have a lot of time when I'm out here. I don't have a lot of chances to really be on my phone and to really look at messages and respond. And honestly, I don't like emails because they feel heavy to me. It feels like a huge task I have to do. I don't know why, that's just me. But so I'm just trying to get this guy in. And so he goes ahead, and the reason why I bought this story is because he actually had, like, from the websites, it looked like his name, like, hey, we're sending you your card information. When you're trying to request a new account, well, when he was trying to request a new card, he had, like, the emails. He sent me screenshots of it. So I was like, all right, it's probably legit. I did have, like, a feeling like, all right, what's going on here? But I was just so focused on my responsibilities out here that I didn't really, like, spend too much time onto it. So wait a few days, wait for him to submit his his security deposit, right? So that will lock him in. That means, like, that room is officially, like, taken off the market. Keep in mind, I've been holding it for this guy. And so I'm like, all right, so I'm like following up with him, like, hey, is it here yet? No. Hey, is it here yet? No. So then, hey, is it here yet? Yes, he tells me. And I'm like, all right, awesome. So just send that in today, and it will be all set for moving and everything. So he didn't send it in that day. So I follow up with him the next day. I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? Are you all ready for moving? Keep in mind, guys, I've been accommodating. I've been patient, respectful, professional, because I want my rental to be a reflection of me, my business to be a reflection of me and how I am. So basically, I go ahead and I tell the guy, I'm like, hey, you need to submit your security deposit before your move-in application. And that is when he goes ahead and he basically tells me, like, yeah, like, I'm ready for moving. I'll send it tonight. I'm so sorry. This is super embarrassing for me. I'm not normally like this. And guys, I just want to put this out there. I'm not dumb. It's just this guy, when he came into the property, the first impression he made was really, really good. Came with, like, a binder, measuring tape, was really prepared. I thought I was dealing with, like, a really responsible, like, trustworthy person, right? And he was telling me about how he was managing other properties and how much people trusted him, and his landlord, his previous landlord, had glowing reviews about him. So that is why I'm like I was so trusting in him, because it just, on paper, his background really, really supported the type of person he was claiming to be. So he tells me he's good, he's ready for moving, he's gonna send it in. 2 hours later, after that, he goes and sends me a long message again. I'm like, oh, what's going on this time? And this time he tells me, hey, basically I found something else where I'm going to be living for free, and I'm actually going to be paid to manage someone else's property. So I'm not going to be able to rent from you anymore, and I hope you understand business is business, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, dude duped me, basically, got the gun on me. So keep in mind, I'm out here, and like, this was stressful, you know. I'm like, my heart dropped because I missed. I had one tenant drop out on me, then I had another tenant drop out on me, now I have this guy dropping out on me, so now I'm down to one tenant. Luckily that one tenant's put in his security deposit, so I'm really hoping nothing goes crazy with him. But I've been hit in the gut, guys. I've just been getting beat up. I'm scrambling because I didn't plan for this. So now I'm having to create checklists and processes because I'm like, all right, man, me and my buddy back home who's looking over the property for me, all right, you have additional responsibilities. You're going to have to start doing showings. You're going to have to start vetting people. I'm just sending out guidelines and checklists for him, trying to do something that I've never done. So as you guys can see, I'm smiling right now, but really I want to cry because this was like, I don't want to cry because, mama didn't raise any weak person, but it is tough right now. But I love it though, because I'm growing and I'm learning from this, and it's always the first one that's difficult. Once I get this first one under my belt, the rooms will get rented. I'm pretty confident in that. I just have to go through the pipeline, get more people through the funnel, and figure it out. Excuse the ash on my hands. That's not ash, it's dirt. So for anyone, that, but it's sandy out here. I'm in the desert. But basically, yeah, that's pretty much how I got duped, and I've been getting crushed out here trying to run my real estate business. But I'm gonna figure it out. I am persistent, confident, and I have God on my side. So I'm going to keep on sharing with you guys my journey. If you guys will excuse me until next time while I go cry, Jabbar, the real estate investing guy, the real estate investor, signing out.